All right, everybody, welcome back to class. I'm so glad that you all joined us here today. Remember, we are getting ready to read an article about does music make you smarter? So we're going to continue to build some background knowledge here today. If you all had to think off the top of your head, based on what we've already completed in our music appreciation course, what are some musical terms that you've learned here?
I've learned beat and rhythm.
Beat and rhythm, very good. So are those two the same thing?
No.
No. Can anybody tell me why?
No.
That's okay. Okay. So if we took a song like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, how I wonder what you are. I want you to tap with me. Beat, 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 beat. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. That's the beat because it shows us where the steady beat lies. The rhythm would be if we tapped along. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. That's the rhythm because it goes along with the lyrics. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. What are some other things that we've talked about in this class?
Melody and harmony.
Melody, that's a really good one. So Madeline, could you demonstrate the example of a melody in Twinkle Twinkle Little Star?
It's twinkle, twinkle, little star. The words
Yeah,
and
it's the main line that we sing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if we were to add harmony, what would that mean?
it would be different
It
notes.
would be different. Would it sound pleasant or would it sound like we were clashing all the time? Most of it would
Generally.
sound pleasant. It could be clashing, yeah. So you all mentioned two very good examples of some of the vocabulary words that we're going to talk about in this article. So if you had to give me a definition based on what we just learned, Shania, about the beat and the rhythm, what would you say is the definition of rhythm?
So rhythm follows along with like the lyrics.
Yeah, it's a repeated a repeated pattern of movement or sound. So if we had, it's a lot easier with pieces that we're singing because it falls with the lyrics. If we're talking about an instrumental piece, the rhythm would be where if Tyler were playing his guitar and he were picking notes on his guitar, finger picking them, the rhythm would be the sequence in which he plays those notes. But the beat is steady. It doesn't change, right? If we're talking about these ideas of being musical and the big broad concept of making music involves so many different things like the beat and rhythm and the melody, is there a way, what do you think is a word that could allow us to define the whole idea of making music?
That's a big question for me.
I know, I didn't do a very good job of explaining it, did I? Okay, so if we are singing in choir, because this is a music appreciation class, but you're both in our 7th grade choir, we are learning a piece and we have the beat and the rhythm and the melody and the harmony, and we've learned all of these pieces, but now we need to add in little things to make it better, to make us be musicians. So if we add dynamics or crescendos or we get softer and we do a crescendo or we speed up the song a little bit, do you think that we would call that being musical? Yeah. So the word musicality means to have like sensitivity to what we're doing in the music. So that's another one of our vocabulary words. So we so far have rhythm and musicality and melody. Melody is a sequence of the notes. So the way that the line goes, twinkle, twinkle, little star, that's the melody. When we're talking about how music works, it's obviously written down on paper, and sometimes there's words and sometimes there's not. But another one of the vocabulary words that you might have talked about in English class, I'm not sure, but it's semantic. And that means relating to language or logic and the text specifically. So if we're talking about it in a musical sense, the lyrics of the song would be semantic. So Do you all have any questions? That is all I have. I can't wait to continue learning with you all. And now that we have these background knowledge built up, and now that we have these vocabulary words learned, hopefully we can get into diving into this text really soon.
Thank you, Miss Miranda.